In this video, we're going to cover some excellent tips to help you lower your blood pressure naturally, in other words, without drugs. And controlling your blood pressure naturally can be good for your health overall. It can also save you a lot of money in terms of the cost of blood pressure medications for the rest of your life. Okay, tip number one, you need to get to your target weight for your age and height. Do you even know your target weight? Because carrying excess weight drives up your blood pressure like crazy. Even 5 pounds can make a difference, so you do need to control your blood pressure in terms of getting yourself to an ideal body weight. Number two, start doing the right exercises. Now this doesn't mean joining a gym, but 30 minutes a day of light exercise will help a lot, and you'll feel great as well. Now you probably know this one already, but you need to reduce your sodium intake. I mean, it's just amazing how much salt we consume. Unfortunately, it's hidden in foods, it's everywhere, so you really need to get your sodium intake under control. Start reading labels and reduce as much salt from your lifestyle as possible. Now while you're reducing sodium, you can increase potassium. That's tip number 4. Most of us have a salt to potassium ratio of 2 to 1, and yet the ideal ratio is 1 to 5. So that means you need to eat 5 times more potassium than salt for controlling your blood pressure. You can even use potassium salt instead of salt to season your food. But obviously the more you reduce your sodium, the less you need to intake of potassium in order to get to that ideal ratio. Now many people don't like hearing this, but avoiding caffeine can help a lot. This causes spikes in blood pressure, sometimes temporary, but for some people it lasts longer. And remember that decaffeinated coffee can taste just as good, and it doesn't have as many of the harmful side effects. Now sugar is another enemy, or refined carbohydrates. Too much sugar does all sorts of harm to the arteries and can also drive up bad cholesterol levels and cause diabetes. And that's on top of causing spikes in your blood pressure. So control your sugar intake all the time. Eat fresh or eat healthy. Lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat, high-protein options should be in your diet. And take a look at the DASH diet. That stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, and it's a really good framework for a good diet which can help you to naturally control your blood pressure. Now, you really need to explore a holistic or comprehensive all-natural program to completely control your blood pressure without harmful and expensive drugs. You can find a review at stronglyrecommended.com, How to Lower Blood Pressure. The link is in the video URL description below. And good luck with controlling your blood pressure naturally, but do make sure that however you do it, you do control your blood pressure. Blood pressure is a silent killer, and it really needs to be controlled. Unfortunately, many people only know they have high blood pressure after they've had a serious medical problem which has been triggered by the high blood pressure. So you should certainly be getting yourself checked for blood pressure on a regular basis, and typically doctors won't diagnose you with high blood pressure until you've had 2 or 3 poor readings, and that can mean as much as 18 months can go by before you start getting treated by your doctor, because they will wait to make sure that the first reading wasn't an aberration, and even after the second high reading, which might be at a checkup 6 months later, they may still defer treatment depending on the readings they get. And in that time, you could have been taking all of these natural steps to control your blood pressure, which really involve permanent lifestyle changes. It's your current lifestyle which is causing your high blood pressure problems, and so any natural solution, as opposed to a masking solution with prescription drugs, is going to involve significant lifestyle changes, or let's call it consistent lifestyle changes, where you address the 4 main triggers of poor diet, excess body weight, lack of exercise, and higher than acceptable stress levels. If you can control all of those 4 aspects naturally, then you are more than likely going to be able to control your blood pressure naturally. Those steps work for more than 90% of people, closer to 95% of people. So you obviously need to make sure that you're not in the 5% for which they won't work, and that involves continuing to talk with your doctor and continuing to get your blood pressure measured and quantified. But in most cases, simple but complete and comprehensive natural steps are all that it takes to successfully control your hypertension or high blood pressure and get those normal readings that you obviously want to see at your next medical checkup. So follow the link in the video below if you wish to see that review I talked about a great natural program. But in any event, whether you do so naturally or whether you do so with prescription drugs, do make sure to control your blood pressure and don't become a victim of the silent killer. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed these tips, and good luck with controlling your blood pressure naturally.